Transformers,
All right,
robots.
good. So I'm going to cut this part out, so give me 1 second.
Blah, blah, blah,
And I'm going to stop.
Like
That
a
means
small
stop
step.
talking, so there's a moment of silence for me to see.
I was going to give you a cut mark in recording.
And cut.
All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the ICBG WoWCast. This is your host, Rai, healer and holy priest extraordinaire. I am joined by our esteemed panel of guildies, and in fact, let me go ahead and take Harisha off of server mute.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's troublesome getting started with Harisha. She gets going before we get going, and I have to mute her to save the magic.
It's not my fault.
Let's go ahead and let's introduce this week's esteemed panel of guildies that has not changed. First and foremost, we have our beach queen and the shadow priest from down under. It's Tryhard.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
She
Next.
sounds awesome.
She does sound awesome. Super excited. Candy, what do you think? Try sounds great, right?
Yeah, she sounds really good.
Just using
They're
Candy.
trying to get me to get a headset because I'm on someone else's computer because mine is playing up. So they're trying to convince me to get a headset.
All right. So next, we've got the mean Georgia Frost mage, still on a warpath from the changes that have happened this week from pre-patch. It's Harisha.
Hi.
Harisha, you're unmuted. We love you.
Hey, you fucking muted my ass. I am not a fucking happy camper.
Don't be that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm that girl. Get it right.
Okay, don't be that girl.
Voice.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you. Next,
Okay.
we've got our lore master and holy pally from Texas. It's Lucinos.
Howdy, y'all.
And
All right.
guess what? Guess what yesterday was, everybody?
Oh, God.
It was Lucy's birthday.
Oh, no, I knew it was coming.
Can we sing? Can we sing?
No.
We already did. You missed it.
Happy unbirthday, Lucy.
Unbirthday's in 6 months.
No, it's every day. Have you not seen damn Alice in Wonderland?
It's
It's a very happy unbirthday to me, to you.
So your birthday is your birthday, and your unbirthday is the 6-month anniversary of your birthday.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Go away.
No, it's the other 364 days of the year.
Speaking of the old dude yelling at me in the background, brings me to the last member of today's panel. It is the old man in residence and our curmudgeon. It's Fury Warrior Candy.
Why, hello. And Harisha talks with a sugar voice, baby talk, and crocodile tears.
Candy, you had an exciting day today too, didn't you?
Did I? What
You
did I
told
do?
us. You already forget the story you were telling us earlier about the drive-in.
Oh, the traffic accident?
Yep.
It was very
Candy-
exciting.
Candy
Do tell.
witnessed a tragic car accident today that no one got hurt in, but we're glad he's okay.
It didn't
Oh,
Was he in it?
No, he witnessed it.
Oh.
Some lady was on her cell phone doing, lady things.
Wait a minute.
What?
She's not telling us.
No. What he said was she was talking on her cell phone and then tried to play it off like she wasn't.
And Candy ratted her out to the cops.
Yeah, he's a narc.
I'm not a narc.
He's
I
a
was a
honest
witness.
citizen.
Oh, wait, you're a rat.
He's a witness.
I'm a witness.
Can't get a witness.
All
Aren't
right.
witnesses supposed to tell the
Can
police?
we
that's
get
the
a
whole point.
witness?
Oh, now Candy's singing.
Candy's doing. There is a song for everything, people.
All right. Well, let's get jumping, guys. I know we have a ton to talk about with pre-patch week. It has been a week. Last week's pre-patch launch day has nothing on what this week has been like. But let's go ahead and start with our usual weekly recap and plans for the upcoming week. I'm going to start this week. So we did a guild group. It was Candy, Lucy, Harisha, myself, and Dave to start, and then we got a few other guildies later on. We finished up. Dave and I finished up Glory of the Orgrimmar Raider, and then we went back as a big group and we did Glory of the Draenor Raider. And we actually got all of the achievements done, so that was super cool.
Yay!
It was great. We were able to pull together the second to last boss in Blackrock Foundry? What was the second? No.
Yeah, Black Rock Foundry.
Yeah, it was Blackrock Foundry.
We had like a
At
whole
the-
group.
at the second to last boss, we were able to pull it together and get a group of 10 to do the achievements. And then we got one of our group members got 13 of the 20 ashes we needed on the Black Hand encounter. So that was
Yay!
great.
Yeah,
I got 4 of them too.
I'm sorry.
I said I got 4.
Well, congratulations. It wasn't 13.
I got none.
He should barely contributed.
I think
And
Hey, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I got none. So I tried. It was team effort.
I was laughing at people getting blown off the edge while I was tanking it. So
Well, so that's an exciting achievement for me to have gotten, guys, because now I am officially current with all of my Glory of the Raider and Dungeon achievements. I even have the Glory of the Legion Dungeon Hero one. The only ones I need now are the 3 Legion Raider achievements for metas, and then I'm done with all raid achieves. So, and that one I'll probably be waiting till next expansion on. For this week, though, I actually focused a big since everything was kind of patchy and like our usual Thursday night alt raid was washed out due to server issues. Thanks, Proudmoore. I spent my week really doing a lot of pet battle achievements. So I caught most of the pets in every zone. I did a lot. I did all the way through Pandaria for the Tamer achievements where I catch one in every zone. So that was cool. Today I finished the Shadowmourne quest line on my Pally and promptly put the mount, the 2 toys, the tabard, and something else in the bank.
so
In the auction house, because I'm selling that shit for gold.
yep.
So if anyone wants to buy the Reigns of the Crimson Death Charger, come see me later. And then finally, the most exciting thing that happened this week, I got Memoron's Head in Alduar.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Woo!
Coolest mount in the game because it's like the most unique.
Right.
You also did something else.
Besides
What
Invincible.
else did I do?
You got your rating for leashes.
Oh, yes. Today I did rating for leashes. Harisha and I traded some pets. She had a bunch of pets I didn't have. And I got rating for leashes 2 and 3 today as well.
Oh, nice. You've been productive.
Yeah, I did a lot of shit this week, mostly because it was all the gameplay downtime.
Pokemon.
So for next week,
Pokemon.
for next week, yeah, Pokemon. Wow, Pokemon. For next week, my plans. I actually did a raid last night, but I'm going to raid again with these guys on Thursday. I really would like to test out my
Thursday.
I would like to test out the Holy Priest heals again, get a little more comfortable with the current spell list. I know it will change probably.
Well,
but-
if you use Prayer of Healing, yeah, or whatever.
So a prayer of healing on spam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
It
inside
helps.
joke. Everybody, Lucy's an asshole.
Go
Yeah.
Crunchy.
So yeah, it's going to be a productive week again with pet battles. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm also going to raid. So that's pretty much it for me. Let's go to Try. Try, what have you been up to?
Well, I've had a lot of computer issues, but one thing I did get was the Velager Stormwing, which is the reputation mount from Stormheim. Got it on my chamois, so that's why you roll alts, because they get the mounts for you when your main can't get it. I also got the Bleakhoof Ruin Strider, which is an achievement for chewing the mana bonds. So that was good. So that was a nice surprise. I go to my mailbox. Oh my God, a mount. I feel so good. So once I get my computer going and I can actually play WoW, I've only really got 2 zones to focus on, which is the Nightfallen one and the Velager, the Velshara one. I mean, because those 2 mounts from the bags I don't have. So looking after 2 zone is better than 3 zones. So that's one of the things I'll be working on next week.
Yeah, but
Yay.
you got like the best mount in the Legion boxes. So
Woohoo!
Right? Do you have the toy from the Warden's box?
Yes.
Oh, congrats.
That's the turn into the Warden person. Yeah, I got 3 of them, and I got 3 mounts for the High Mountain box. Just can't you spread them out and give me one of each?
Right?
Wow.
You got the Bat Pet yet?
Bat pet.
From Broken Isles or from Broken Shore.
I'm not sure. I can't actually get into my account. I don't want to ruin Snow's computer, so I'm not in the game at the moment.
All right. Well, thanks, Try. Let's move on to Miss Harisha.
Well, obviously somebody went and did all the glory things and left me behind, because I still have Glory of the Pandaria, Thundering Raider, Orgrimmar Raider, and Hellfire Raider. because someone went on without me.
You know,
That's another story.
you know Ryan, all his glory. You know,
I know he's got tons of glory, but I did get something. Hold on, let me find it. It is in my bag. Where did it go? I got Dragon Wrath Terragos's Rest Staff today. Yay. So now I can
Finally.
transform into a, as it says, Terragos's Visage, allowing you to fly very fast. It took 5 freaking weeks.
Isn't the word visage?
we don't.
Visage, tomato, whatever.
Sylvanas.
Exactly. We can go on and on with these. Horticia. I mean, we can go on with this.
Well, this is not the Candy School of pronunciation and dictation.
Third day.
Congratulations, Horisha.
But yes, I got that finally, and I got left smoking in the dust with someone who decided to do all those little things without me, and that's okay. And I will proceed with those this week. I'm still chasing my mounts from ZG, the one from Stonecore, Horadin, and there's one more, and I can't think of its name, but I'm still chasing mounts from the daily, weekly runs. So that, and maybe trying to, see what pets other people have that I don't have and swap. We're going to have a pet swap. It's going to be like, little pet shops here.
That's a neat. Once we get the ability to create guild events again, we should put up a pet swap, a pet trading event.
We should. We can trade pets. That is a very good idea because, I was able to provide you with a lot of pets you didn't have. And hopefully I will be able to be provided with pets that I don't have.
Hint, hint.
You asked them on Twitter about that stuff, the guild permissions. They're not changing it, man.
Well,
Really?
we'll get to that later. We'll get to that.
So no more mage tower to worry about, no more fishing to worry about, no more first aid to worry about. So I'm golden.
All right. Well, thanks, Horisha. Let's move on to Lucinos. Lucy, what did you work on this week?
So you're golden like the lady who died in Octopussy?
Oh no, not like her. I'm good for the week. I'm going to go on a rant a little bit later about the storyline quest lines that popped up today. So I'm going to save them for the next segment.
Yeah. So I didn't even remember that we did all that the glory stuff. I think I just jumped in when you guys were doing Draenor. I didn't really do the siege one. I haven't finished that yet. I still got to do that. I guess crisscross or whatever that we kept messing up on. But I guess you and Dave did it. I don't know. But
yeah, I went with Dave and did that one. Yeah.
But I've been leveling that Void Elf, but I think I've hit a plateau. Once you get to, you can either choose Outlands or Northrend. And I went Northrend because I was like, man, Outlands, that place has always been boring as a leveling zone. So I went to Northrend, and it's even worse. I don't know. At 60, I think 60 to 70 is probably the worst grind in the game at the moment as far as leveling goes. And then, we tried to raid on Thursday to see what the changes were for our classes, which, I was kind of disappointed in Holy Paladin performance, but it'll get better with time. But server issues, we really couldn't, do much.
So Lucy, going back to raiding though, when we were healing, you were keeping up ahead of me in numbers.
Ahead of you for a little bit, but man, that what is it? What would you say? Holy Word, Salvation, or Serenity, or
it's Salvation.
What's that S one? Whatever. I don't know. You have too many fucking spells. Yeah. You would hit that, and it was oh shit, and then you would surpass all the heals. So that's what I was saying is as far as performance, healing with Try, I kind of know where we're at in there. So when I went in there with the changes, I could feel myself. It was less, and the mana conservation. I had to really watch myself because if I didn't, then I would be just trying to spot heal or top everyone off. So I really had to watch myself in there.
Well, I also think that comes to we're just raiding for shits and giggles, but when it comes down to serious raiding later, we're going to have to plan out our cooldowns a little bit more because I could have refunded mana for you.
Well, and see, that's what I was saying. Like, I was really trying to figure out my class, so I knew what I was going to do in this next expansion. Now I know going into questing, getting more gear, it's going to get a little bit better. It's going to get a little bit easier. But I mean, when we hit normals and heroics and mythic pluses, as far as dungeons go, I want to know the rotation I'm fixing to go in on and the gear and the talents that I'm going to go with. So, like, what did you tell me? There's a bug, or not a bug, but there's like a cheese with one of the legendaries and a talent.
Oh yeah, the 2 tower, or the whatever that it's called. That was Lord of the Rings, but the tower one, the terrible tower, or
the Tower of Power. Yeah, the topless tower. Topless
that
tower.
one. Topless Candy. It's right up your aisle.
Jesus Christ. We can't get names right, guys. Wow, head it. Fuck it. But yeah. So the helm and then the talent or whatever, people are cheesing it right now, which they'll probably figure that out and then nerf it to hell. And then once you're questing, the legendaries are going to go away. So there's only so long you can use it anyway. But like I said, right now I felt like I was underperforming, but we'll see what happens later on. So that's me.
All right. Well, thanks, Lucy. Candy, let's jump to you, man. What was on the agenda for this past week?
Well, I did raiding with buddies on Crashmoore. That used to be the name of the guild the server long ago when it used to crash continuously. Which surprisingly, they resurrected the Proudmoore crashing on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And I don't even know whenever they decided to fix it, probably Tuesday or whatnot. But anyway, the raid was kind of sort of a little bit mostly fun. I mostly enjoyed it until it crashed. And that was kind of the highlight of the week. I really wanted to see what my warrior would do, and it does pretty well. So I did that. Then I joined the Bubbas on the on our achievement run. Begged to join, but anyway, I joined it and I enjoyed it. And then what else did I do? Oh, me and Rye got our pet battle yokel going, and we were like constantly talking to each other and figuring out pet battling strats forever. Because basically that's the thing to do right now, because everything else is constantly mostly annoying.
How long did it take you to get your little black goat?
I got a green one right off the bat, and then I wasted like about an hour trying to get a blue one.
Did you ever get one?
Huh?
Did you ever get a blue one?
Oh, most certainly did. I went to the bank in Dalaran. I clicked on my battle pet upgrade token, and I got a blue one.
I just want to rewind the clock just a minute. Like when pet battles came out, how much crap we all threw at that. Like, it's terrible. It's a rip-off Pokemon. Blah, and now everybody's doing it right now.
We're bored as fuck.
Yeah,
how else are you supposed to upgrade your damn pet?
and then I went and did the quest today, which was not as bad as it was on beta because of the stupid. Bad. Yeah, they did some stuff I didn't really care so much for, but in the end, it worked out better. On beta, you had to kill the trees first, and then you went to a different area to go kill the wisps. But that was fun enough. But what I'm most impressed with, though, is the world quests, which are actually surprisingly good. I got all my stuff was ranked 210 or higher, so it was. I mean, if you got crappy, if you weren't able to upgrade your artifact weapons, then you can get the upgraded weapons from the world quest that'll replace them already. You can get like a 225, so that's not a bad deal. And some of the gear is actually equal to heroic raiding gear if you get it, Warforged or Titanforged. So I don't think that's a bad deal. And I'm not one of these guys that gets mad about the Titan forging system. I think it's fine. And what was the other question?
God, are you serious?
What are you planning for next week?
Next week.
Harish, I'm sorry. I'm going to call attention to this. Harisha can remember the second question. And why can't you?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that sometimes.
No, why can I remember the question? He can't. What's the problem?
You like to remind us all the time that at night you don't remember things.
I do remember things. I just choose not to share them with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because Harisha's a young whippersnapper. And my next, what I plan on doing this week is probably running the rest of my characters through the world quests. And then I'm probably going to go do the Rye thing and try to finish out the Legendary and Ice Cream Citadel.
Oh my God.
Ice Crown Candy.
Yeah, that place. Whatever it is. And then I'll go back and I'll do the next raid on third day because, Rye's really trying to get in with his Southern yokalism and he's going to start calling Thursday third day.
You done?
He said it, not you.
I could be.
Wow.
Is it over?
Is it over? Is it over yet? No.
Can we talk now?
We could talk. Yes, we could talk now. I do want to just jump into before we let everyone loose on pre-patch stuff and the launch of the quest line today. I would like to update everyone as to the status of the great ICBG WoWCast recruitment contest. Still in fifth place. I would give you sixth place if there were six of us. Is Tryhard with 0 new votes this week for a grand total of 0 votes.
Hey, I'm just not buying people off and threatening them.
I'm not buying people off either. I'm just
Bullshit.
We're like blackmailing and
next
selling
in fourth place with 0 votes added this week and only 1 vote last week. Lucinos.
Hey.
I'm sorry, Candy. Whoops. I'm sorry, Lucy. I didn't mean to swap you and Candy. Candy, you got 1.
Hooray, look at me.
Lucy, you had 2 last week and 0 this week, putting you in third place with a grand total of 2.
Well, I passed Candy some kidneys and he wouldn't sell them for me. So,
Harisha,
You bastard.
last week you had 6. This week you have 0, putting you at a grand total of 6.
Bullshit. Go back and check it. I looked at it before we got on the podcast. Go back and check it.
I didn't count the votes right before we looked at the podcast. I totaled these votes like 2 hours ago.
You should have checked it before the podcast because I see 3 on there for me.
Hold on. When did these people vote? Like 11th hour? You and all your children fucking vote for you?
Fucking prior to the damn podcast.
There's 2 new votes for you.
There's 3.
I'm looking. Your husband doesn't have a WoW account. He doesn't count. We covered that as part of the rules.
Did he not fucking post Harisha sent me?
No, we did. All right, hold on.
Did he post it?
Try hard. I need you to be referee here on the last episode when we announced this contest 2 weeks ago. Did I not say they have to be WoW
you said
players?
they had to subscribe.
They had to be WoW players.
They don't have to subscribe.
The rules were they had to play World of Warcraft, they had to subscribe, and then leave a comment and say so-and-so sent me. That's the 3 things that they had to do in order for it count as a point. And they had to do it only 1 vote per week, but they can do it over multiple, I believe was the last bit added on.
Correct.
Fine, I will fix that.
No. His vote doesn't count.
No. From here forward, I will fix that. Keep going.
How many of the people that have been putting comments for you don't have WoW accounts, Harisha?
None of them. They've all had WoW accounts.
Your husband has a WoW account?
He does. He just doesn't play.
How many of them have a WoW account? They just don't play.
I've got a bunch of old friends that play WoW.
Harisha has a lot of friends.
Harisha's status is currently in dispute. Let's put it that
way. Really?
So for the listeners
Do
out there,
not make me drive 3 fucking hours to you.
And in first place, as of right now, until we can validate some of Harisha's responses, in first place is me with 7. I got 3 new ones this week and 4 last week.
That's coming bottom.
How many legs have you broken?
I haven't broken any. I did suck a lot of dick.
Exactly. Ho, your name should be Harisha.
We will go back and we will review the scores and we will update this next week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just call him Rice Slut from now on.
Oh,
I'm just thinking she didn't pay attention to the rules once again, and now I'm the bad guy who's enforcing the previously stated rules.
What do you mean once again? Once again?
Sometimes I got to tell you these things 2 or 3 times.
You've hurt my feelings.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Oh, you did. Done.
So the listeners out there, to avoid all this cluster, you can just vote for Lucinos, and we'll save all the trouble, okay?
No, better yet, vote for Harisha and be done with it.
Or you just vote for someone who's got a chance to beat Harisha now, and that's me.
Candy.
Really?
Play the underdog and go Candy.
Well, I'm going to vote for Harish just so she can win.
You can't.
See,
You're
even Candy wants to vote for me. Okay, all right, all you people. My teammate wants to vote for me, so that's all that needs to be said. Shut up, Rai.
I'm just going to repeat.
I'm just going to
repeat against because no one listens to the rules. Candy's vote doesn't count because he's on the panel. Just saying.
Yeah, because
That's
that's
very
for me.
cool that he does want to vote for you, though.
That it's just cool, but it just proves my point that the rules are not things that people listen to anymore.
Hey, Candy, how many accounts you got on YouTube?
I just
actively. All right, we're going to move on. As she's actively trying to cheat the system on the recording of the podcast.
Asked a question. That's all I did.
Let's go ahead and jump into the pre-patch stuff. Before we even get to today's new chapter 1 of the War of Thorns drop, I want to address, as many of us do, the unsurprising yet wholly disappointing drops by Blizzard for the technical issues we've encountered over the last week. I'm just going to jump in with the first opinion on this and say I expected there to be a couple of hiccups. I expected there to be about a day of issues. That was last week on Tuesday. What I didn't expect is for those issues to just cascade and cascade and cascade, and the server restarts and crashes, and their Twitter account just being like, sorry guys, we've got no information. Their Blizzard Twitter account has got me all types of riled up because they say things like, I actually get more correct responses from the Twitter account than I do from the GM tickets I've put in this week. It's just been a whole clusterfuck. I want to address, first and foremost, legendary crafting quests aren't working right now, if anybody heard that.
No.
If you turn in your armor crafter's commendation to whoever your crafting guy is to get those quests, he'll take it and it will then give you a warning message that says you're not eligible for this quest and it will eat your commendation. So I put a GM ticket in. They responded to me saying, yeah, we've heard the reports of this right now. Hang in there. Just don't give him any more commendations. So I was like, all right, that's kind of sucky. Talked to Torsen, one of our guild's officers, and he was like, yeah, I went to them and my guy immediately responded, that sucks. I've sent you your commendation back because you shouldn't have had it taken away from you. So go reopen your ticket, which I did. The second guy was like, as an exception, I'll give you your commendation back, but we generally are hands off on these issues.
Okay, first of all, they are not hands off. They're customer support services.
Right.
They know the crap that goes on. They know what glitches we're going to have, and they just they don't provide the way they should. It should all be across the board on the way that they respond.
Do you want to know what's even fucking worse? With Torsen, they just gave him his armor crafter commendation back. For me, I go to my in-game mail. He used one of my limited number account recoveries on the
I would be pissed off about that. I would be making a ticket about that shit.
And why is that, Rai?
I'm sorry?
And why is that?
Because Blizzard hates me.
It's because of who you got on their tech support side. You've got some GMs that are one way, and you've got some that are just bam, 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 Nurse Ratchet.
So I put another ticket in, and I posted on the forums, and I've tweeted Blizzard on this. Try this is the one that affects the guild permissions. Mm-hmm. They changed, and like not like I'm like cascading for any type of power of any kind, but I like to be able to right click on the calendar and create guild event. I have been someone in our guild that's created a large majority of the events that have happened over the last, I'd say, 6 months, and. Mm-hmm. And I'm constantly organizing something new because I get bored and want to do stuff with my guildies. So I put it on the week for next week on the calendar, and people show up and we do things like seed parties, and we want to do a fishing night coming up, and we want to do a pet swap night coming up, and I do raid every week. And now I have to have an officer post the guild events for me, which is kind of annoying.
Well, if you vote for me, I will post guild events for you.
My vote, once again, I will reference the rules. My vote for you does not count as I am on the panel.
Crumb Dungeon.
So I put a ticket in, and I got 3 different answers.
What?
The forums, someone responded on the forums saying, like, guild permissions are all types of screwed up, and this is how it is from now on. Bye. Then I got an answer on Twitter saying, I'll come to the Twitter one next. I'm looking up their exact response from Twitter. I got an answer from the GM ticket saying, we've had no other guilds complain about members not being able to create guild events or invite other members to the guild. So we're going to kick this up to the QA team. The downside is, since we don't know if this is expected behavior or not, and we don't even know if there's an issue with your group's account, no one is going to get back to you on this. So if it's something that's meant to be fixed, they'll fix it. But if not, it's going to stay the way it is.
Well,
I thought that answer was like, that's the shittiest answer. We don't know, so let me tell you we don't know, and that no one will be getting back to you with the answer.
Well, the crappy part about that answer is that all other guilds have not addressed this issue or said anything about it. That's crap. There are tons of videos out there right now on YouTube about the pre-patch when it dropped. I mean, even I'm talking about like VODs from streamers, people that are, have edited their own videos talking about pre-patch. That is one of the issues, is guild permissions are gone. So.
Well, so then I got the tweet back replying to my Twitter account at the Rai Baby. The missing permission setting for creating guild events is part of the current issue affecting communities. Communities with a capitalized C, like it's a fucking proper noun. Keep an eye on the WoW News blog for any hotfix updates, and they gave me the link to that. So they're saying on Twitter, this is a legitimate issue. The ticket's saying, we don't know if it's an issue. And then the forums post is, this isn't an issue.
All right. Well,
I just tweeted too to make it an issue.
Thank you, Horatio.
That's because that I'm going to say is they changed the permissions and they're going to just leave it that way. They're not even going to mess with it.
Well, it used to be that only the guildmaster can change it, but before, you had all these boxes that you can tick depending on what rank you wanted and what each of the ranks can do. So you could break it down a lot. And now they've made it one big block, which is for officers. And then the next options for, say, the lower ranks, you only get a few things like add, demote, and just a few other buttons, and that's it. Where before you had all these different things and different things you can select for them to be able to do.
Yeah, that's because they took those permissions out. Because you remember when they put in the communities and the whole new guild thing or whatever, it like crashed servers and it locked people out of the game and it erased the guild calendar. Remember that, Rye?
Oh, well, do I remember that?
Oh, dear God, do we not remember him remembering that?
Okay, so it erased the whole guild calendar. So what they did is when they took communities out and fiddled with it or whatever, then they put it back in. Everything's working fine, but they didn't put the guild permissions back in because they know there's still an issue with the calendar. Because you still look at the calendar, it's not set up right to where when BFA is fixing to start. Because when we were looking at it when it cleared off, nothing started until after BFA dropped, remember? Like the new dungeon thing or whatever. The new events didn't start until after BFA started. So something's wonky with the calendar and the permissions. They just didn't put them back in when they took out communities for that like day, and then they put them back.
Yeah, it's disappointing, the Blizzard response to this stuff. I mean, from what I'm hearing from a lot of people, it's Blizzard's responding, we don't know. Keep an eye on the hotfix notes.
Well, and that's the thing. Those GMs that you're like ticketing and stuff like that, they don't know. The guys on the forums, they might know a little bit more, but not much because they're not devs. They don't know. And then all those guys don't even know the bugs until an overwhelming amount of people have reported it. So.
All these issues have actually made me create a Twitter account and get on Twitter and actually follow the Blizzard CS Twitter. And some of it's quite humorous and some of it's quite infuriating.
I want to do a segment maybe next week where we read mean tweets written to Blizzard on their
fun.
Twitter account. Because there's a lot of the forums are on fucking fire. Like people are pissed about the removal of master loot, which I actually agree with. I think it's a good thing for the game. It encourages more inclusion in groups, and it keeps those mythic rating groups and high-end rating groups from screwing over new people for loot. by not allowing folks to trade. You're not allowed to trade Azurite gear. You're not allowed to trade anything that's an item level upgrade. I think that's a great addition to the game.
And I'm okay with that because it takes away from that old school of DKP and all that crap.
Yeah.
And from the people running raids, I have to stop, see who rode what, figure out what loot goes to who.
Now, the other thing that I'm not so thrilled with is the changes that they made elsewhere. Like things like, I hate to be a broken record, but the guild permissions thing. Try, you as a GM for however long you've been GM of the Ice Cream Bikini Girls, you've had pretty granular control of your guild as far as security roles is concerned. You could break it down to the lowest role and assign, what they could and couldn't click on down to the button. Now you can't. How does that make you feel as a GM?
Well, at this point, I'm just hoping it gets fixed soon. So I like when new things come out, new expansions, there's always bugs. But it is very frustrating because I had sort of had it set up that, the higher up in ranks you get, the more, say, access to the guild bank, guild tabs, and the more permissions you get. Because you sort of like to try people out with more and see how they go. And then obviously if they do well, then they stay there or eventually go up. Or if they don't, then they go back down. So it's like a way to give people more responsibility and then see if they can handle it. So I kind of feel like they're sort of saying your guild's really bad and they can't do things, so put baby gloves on them and that's all they can do. It's kind of mean.
And the other thing, I mean, you guys are super trusting with your officers, so you've given them pretty much the power of God for the guild for the most part. There are other guilds, though, where officers can't kick members or officers can't demote somebody. Or, things like that, where now the officers in those guilds have the power of God where they didn't have that prior to this. So,
yes, some are all very strict, where we're very relaxed. And I have a lot of officers that I trust to run everything when I'm not on, because I can't be on 24/7. But yes, some, only the GM can make groups. Only the GM can kick, promote, demote, change notes, all that sort of stuff. So for them, they're going to be really about it.
Yeah. It's just obnoxious.
Well, some of those guilds with GMs like that are the ones where the GM gets everybody, contributing this, and this to the bank and all this stuff, and then they steal all of it, and then they're out. That's what happens. So.
Oh, and I've been in that guild before where they made a design of all the coffees into a penis in the guild bank and took everything else out.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like
you were
back
there, Robert.
I mean, that's like back in the day, like BC Wrath and stuff like that, when there were like no permissions. Only people that had permissions were officers and stuff, and the GM. So, if the GM was having an off day or one of the officers was pissed or something, they would just take everything from the bank and then just leave.
Yep.
So.
Well, basically, I think the guild community tool is a mess right now.
It's ugly.
That leads me on to my next part, which really isn't, and I want to stress this. I play World of Warcraft because I enjoy playing the game. Yeah. And I'm willing to deal with some of their problems and whatnot. But the most telling thing that came out this week was the Q&A that came up on Tuesday, where Blizzard said that the reason why they didn't start the quest line for BFA was they wanted to wait until the servers had, the problems with the servers had calmed down, that the bugs had been worked out, and that, they had the game relatively stable, which is quite friggin' surprising. That kind of stuff is just pure bullshit. I'm sorry, Blizzard, but you need to get your fucking act together on that crap, because you just can't go screwing over your entire community. You should have waited a fucking week before dropping the patch. When a lot of the problems with the community tool was well known in advance. The day they brought that out, it crashed the servers. The next day they tried it again. It was causing anytime you hit the J button and open up your communities window, it would cause the players to crash.
These are beta bugs. Those are beta issues that we were having.
Yeah, and they knew this shit was a problem, but they still threw it on us. We didn't need the communities tool to come out, and wipe out the servers for almost a friggin' week, just so they could get that test that shit on beta and PTR. Don't fucking test it on live. I'm paying for a live fucking game. I'm not paying to be a beta tester 24/7 for Blizzard on their live fucking game. They need to fix that crap. They need the stuff you're talking about, customer service. You're right. Customer service should have the same answer. They don't fucking know. They should say, I don't fucking know, and I've escalated your ticket. Not give you a big fucking runaround and wonder why people are getting mad at them. The customer service people are the very first people you interact with in Blizzard. And when they behave like a bunch of fucking, cretins out there running around clueless and giving you a whole bunch of different fucking answers, that reflects on all of fucking Blizzard. They need to fix that shit and start behaving like an actual fucking company.
Damn.
There's Candy's 2 cents. There you go.
Okay. I have another issue. So when I went and did my quest this morning and did the whole, chain quest, whatever, and then I wound up with my world quest, my items that dropped were 191. Everyone else that dropped were 210. What the fuck?
I mean, you just weren't lucky. They got Titan Forged or Warforged.
But no, it should know they were world quests.
Where they're letting those items drop as and Titan Forge and Warforge.
They were world quest, no Titan Forge. They were up for 23 hours from when I started. Hold on, let me finish.
Hold on. All world quests, even Legion world quests, any item that's a gear reward that drops off a world quest has the chance to Titan Forge or Warforge.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't, because when I just went and logged on with my Warlock, the item level was guaranteed 215. But when I went on with my Mage earlier today, it was guaranteed a 191. What the fuck?
That's what she's saying. Like when she looked at the quest on her Mage when she finished, it said 191. When I finished mine, it said 195. She logged into another one, it said 215. I mean, I get there's a chance for a Warforged and Titan.
Why is it not standard across the board?
It should be, if you're at, it's not standard because of our eye levels. Different eye levels reflect differently. So I don't know, is your lock a lower eye level than your Mage?
She is, definitely. Yes, she is.
Okay, then they probably made it to where the scaling of those quests is more beneficial to that character because of its lower eye level. Because my allied dwarf that I did the quest line on, he is a lot lower than Lucinos. Like he's at 161. Lucinos is at 240. So the world quest is not beneficial to Lucinos at all. So it's like a 195. It's pretty much transmog. Whereas my dwarf, it was a 215. So it was beneficial to him. So I don't know. I think they
should be across the board, not scale. They should let you know it's scaling.
What they're doing is they're encouraging people to go and do all the world quests on their alts.
Right. I mean, they want people to start the game now, do the pre-patch stuff, do those world quests, get ready for BFA instead of starting BFA on a fresh character,
Well, and that also there's when you look at players like us, gilded rating players, we're going to have quite a leap on the rest of the community, and I think they're trying to balance that a little bit, somewhat, to where other players who didn't go as far in the game as we have and don't have the same kind of equipment that we have, or at least have somewhat stable footing, right? Because I'm going to tell you, when we started out at 185 in beta, we went out there and we were getting smushed. We walk up on a trash quest mob that you should just be able to kill it, maybe have a little setback and eat something and get your health back up. These mobs are just pounding us. So the attempt is right now to maybe level some people up, and this is my opinion, right? Is to let people get a little bit of level, so when they walk in there, they're not just getting kicked in the teeth. The first mob they whack.
But they should announce that to me. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I think the overall theme of today is Blizzard has screwed the pooch on being communicative with.
Oh, yeah. Blizzard's like back in the 1980s, 90s with Damn Stand By Me. You screwed the pooch.
Well, I mean, they may have not said it to you, but it still works the same as your old world quest that gave items. Once you hit a certain eye level, you plateaued, and those world quests never benefited you ever again in the game, right?
Well, granted, they did in a way, because if I didn't have a PvP item, it did. Okay. And now all the gold item gear level is gone. I cannot earn any gold from quest.
Yeah, that's because they don't want you out there gold farming before they want you to be running the auction house, doing all these different things, BOEs, crafting stuff, whatever, instead of just running, using the app, the companion app to go run World Quest or whatever have you, people botting and shit, you know, trying to do their mission tables and World Quest to get gold. Yeah, multi-boxing and stuff. They don't want people doing that farming gold before BFA drops. They want you out there actually doing stuff in the world. But back to the gear, I mean, the gear has always been scaled like that. That's why World Quests were just negligible after a certain point in the game. So you had to start doing normals, heroics, mythics, ratings.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, so that's what Candy's saying, is that with these new people coming in, or maybe you have a lower tune, or like Try, who has like 1 million alts, she can go out and do that Darkshore event, do those quests, and get some pretty decent gear going into BFA. That, I mean, that's kind of how it's been for every aspect.
Forgive me for being less inclusive on this.
I got what you're saying now. That makes sense.
No, but fuck them. I've been grinding my character for all of Legion. Dude, you're not just going to waltz back in here in the 11th hour and go into BFA with the same item level as me.
I understand it.
What's your eye level on your
245.
Those quests are not going to get anybody to that level at all. You might not even.
I understand it.
We're still talking about it, Harisha.
Yeah, we're placating right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're not even going to get to 210 off that stuff. You might get, and they're fucking like weapons. I haven't even seen good pieces of gear just yet, like maybe one for like Torsen God or something like that. So, I mean, even if you did them and you got 210 and you were lucky enough to get a Titan Forged, which hardly ever fucking happens, it's a really low chance, and you get 215 or 225, oh crap, you're not going to be as geared as who's wearing almost mythic rating.
I need you to do me a favor. Can you just hate on Blizzard with us, please? Can you stop defending them?
Can I comment for a second?
But that's that's what I'm trying to do, is like, I'm trying to show the positives in it instead of us just like doing the negatives. You know what I mean? Because there are positives from the pre-patch. Yeah, it was a big shit show. There was a lot of clusterfuck happening, but
still is a lot of clusterfuck happening.
But I mean, they're trying to clean it up. They're working on a daily basis to try to clean shit up. They can't address all the bugs that everybody's finding unless, like I said, there's an overwhelming amount of people putting in tickets, putting in the forums, putting in comments, all this stuff so that they can get to everything, because they probably have a list of like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 different fucking bugs that they got to go through every single day. So they have a team of people working day and night to do this shit for us.
Are you looking at the same hotfix list as I am?
I don't care about the hotfix list. I mean, those are little bitty hotfixes. They're going to keep doing that right up until the day of launch and even afterwards.
Okay. Harisha, go ahead. Harisha's about to burst. Let's let her get it out.
Go ahead.
Okay. So back, I don't know what expansion it was off the top of my head, but back when I had to go run out in Eastern Playgrounds area to get all of the little like stone gorge, all the damn people flying in the air thing.
Oh yeah, Wrath of the Lich King stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I was able to go out there in raid gear and get better gear than my raid gear out there by doing it for a day or two.
That's because back then they didn't know what they were doing. They were just trying to.
They still don't know what they are doing.
They were just trying to put stuff in the game.
Can't we get an item level, something, a bonus, a glimmer, something, a little ray of hope, sunshine? We got a full fucking set of gear back then.
Because you're not using your sugar voice and you're not using baby talk. That doesn't work.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's calling you a gamer girl.
Oh, hell no.
All right, simmer down now.
Come on, Candy. Come on, let's talk.
Ultimately, I mean, I know that, listen, guys, we're not negative people. You've listened to us.
We've done this through expansion after expansion after expansion.
But you've been listening to us for 8 weeks now, if you're listening to this episode and you've listened to all the others. And most of you have probably listened to the first 14 minutes of this episode and then stopped. We're not negative people, and I'm specifically not a negative person, but I am like completely underwhelmed by the performance level. I mean, this is their 8th expansion now. Is this expansion 8?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'll advocate Blizzard. I don't care. You just keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Well, why don't you do what you do? You know what you need to do? You need to be one of the 3 types of people that tweet Blizzard CS. And that would be the third type, the person who wants to send them a pizza and tells them they're all doing great and to ignore the haters.
I mean, yeah, I don't care.
I tweeted them.
I mean, I don't care. I would do that. I mean, it's a big company. There's a lot of people there. I mean, they're trying to do what they can. All right. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep making the games, guys, because we want the game to play, right?
But ultimately, before as I was saying, before Lucy gave his message of hope to Blizzard customer service, I expect more as a customer. I mean, I'm not done. Let me finish a goddamn sentence, Lucy.
Hey, damn! No, he didn't.
Working in fucking hospitality, man, customer service people get shit on all the time. So
I listen, I've been there too. And what I'm saying is in the customer service world, the answer I don't know is never an acceptable answer.
It is. Let me see what I can find out for you.
I understand that. And they did some shit.
I'm a fucking nurse. I know these things.
Hold on.
No, don't hold on.
Everyone's getting fired up, and I would like to finish a sentence if that's all right. Is that all right with you, Harisha?
Go for it.
Thank you. Is that okay with you, Lucy?
Good answer.
Oh, Lucy's
That's 2 sentences.
Oh, Lucy's upset. So, I mean, my point here is I don't know is not an acceptable answer. And as Candy has previously stated, all of these issues were issues prior. So, Lucy, and this is a direct question for you now, Lucy. Are you telling me that it is okay for Blizzard to knowingly put content that is not working into a live server and make the live people now test it?
No, it's not.
And that's what happened here. So
yes, but
they're
when
doing what they're doing.
When they don't have anything else to fucking roll out to a community that is like chomping at the fucking bit for new content because we're all fucking bored out of our minds and we're in this lull that happens all the time between expansions. Sometimes you're rating shit for 2 years, guys. Remember Siege of Orgrimmar?
I would rather have them delay it by a month and say we need another month than put out something that's garbage.
You're not going to do it.
But that is the learning curve there. They're like, okay, well, we have all these people fucking just they want something. Hold on. Well, we have this.
So by that math, I want to stay on the same thought train that you were just on.
Then they're not going to do it again. They're not. They're going to learn from this and not do the same shit again.
Lucinos, my point in all of this is you say learning curve. By now, our Blizzard customer service and Blizzard development would be in 8th grade if we're talking this expansions as far as school years. By 8th grade, I was doing algebra and some geometry. At this point in their school career, they're in remedial fractions. I mean, like we're not even like on the same schooling level. I mean, this is the same shit that happens every expansion. So I hate to talk about learning curve when it's just the same shit over and over and over every year.
And I'm going to tell you that it's a huge company and they hire and fire like fucking crazy. And they've probably fired their whole fucking team just about every expansion when they change and they lose subscriptions and they lose customers and things like that. They fire people and then they hire a new team and they have to fucking teach them again. And they try to push a product for all these people that are crying about new shit, and then they bring it out, and then people are upset.
So, but tell me again how they're learning from their mistakes.
Oh my god, I'm done.
They haven't.
We will agree. We will agree to disagree on this. Is that fair?
All right, let's all agree to disagree.
I'm just saying, it's a good game. Keep making the fucking game because if people keep shitting on them, they're gonna just stop doing it. And then we won't have nothing. All right,
so. I am shitting on them, but I'm shitting on them with a purpose. Like Blizzard, I'm shitting on you, but that's because, boo, you need some help here.
And 2, you have constipation.
You need to take a good fiber supplement to keep things rolling out. But you also got to do it smart. Don't just eat all pasta and cheeseburgers and expect your turds to come out solid. It's not gonna work.
They need fucking Miralax. Cap full with 8 ounces of water done.
So
every day.
Bananas and prune juice.
And of course, Old Fart would recommend prune juice.
Here's what ails you.
All right. So real quick before we start to wrap up, I know Lucy, something exciting happened this week. that you wanted to bring up?
It's your birthday. Get busy. Oh, wait, that was earlier.
Horatio, let the adults talk.
No, it wasn't the.
I'm older than all of you except for Candy, so shut up about adults.
Shh, let Lucy talk.
It was the Warbringers came out, and they started it actually early. I thought it was going to be on Tuesday, but they came out with it on Monday, which was surprising. Which was my birthday, so yay for me. And it was Jaina. The first one was Jaina. I believe the second one's probably going to be Azshara, and then third will be Sylvanas. That way, by the time Sylvanas is over, we'll be done with Burning of Teldrassil. We know what's going to happen. The parallels will be nice, and we'll go right into BFA.
I thought it was neat. It had like a very piratey theme to it,
Yeah.
and I think I'm going to surmise that the choir in the background is the like LA Gay Men's chorus.
I mean, it was surprising. Like I was watching it, and then all of a sudden it started like sea shanty singing, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I was trying to listen to what it was saying because it wasn't just like a ripped off pirate sea shanty that they just took from somewhere. They actually wrote their own song for this thing, and I mean, it makes sense. Now I know there are a lot of people who are like, it was okay, whatever. But if you've been playing beta like Candy and I have, or if you've seen anything BFA or you watch any streamers out there, guys, Jaina Proudmoore's story is coming to a head. She's been sulking in anger and everything since fucking Mists of Pandaria. And this is her X-Pack of vengeance. She's coming back. She's gonna rally Kultiris and get the fleet back together, and she's coming for the Horde. That's her mission, and that's what that short was telling you, is that she in a moment that he needed her when he was fighting the Horde. So now she's listening to him, and she's gonna come back with vengeance, and she's gonna take him out. Because she knows that they're ruthless. So,
well, and I guess we'll see what happens in the storyline. But there's two other Warbringers coming out for Azshara and for Sylvanas, so we'll see kind of what those stories have. But for now, we're going to start wrapping things up. As our usual ending, there is a limited amount of time that everybody has between now and when the launch date of BFA happens, and we'll all be doing the new shiny. So we'll have our panel vote for something that they think that you should spend your time doing between now and then. Let's start with Tryhard. What would you think someone needs to have on their list?
Complete the Argent tournament and get all those mounts, pets, and toys from out that way. So, Old Dale, North, Ice Crown, up that area.
Excellent suggestion. Let's go to Harisha.
Battle pets for the win.
You fucking goddamn it! She knows I've been spending my whole week doing that, and she doesn't touch the damn things. And
hey, how many pets did I give you today?
A lot.
Thank you,
Lucinos.
Go out there, do world quests, get Awakening Essences, Legendaries, and do the Darkshore event. Do those so you can get geared past Rye and make them mad at you.
All right. Thanks.
That's the goal, guys.
Always the charming charmer. Let's go to Candy.
I'm going to say go after mounts that you haven't gotten yet, and then vote for Candy.
They all pick something they know I did this week to piss me off.
You did the Argent tournament? Oh my gosh, sorry.
I did the Argent tournament stuff this week.
First next time.
I did pet battles. I did the Darkshore thing. I'm Awakening Essences. I got firm mounts.
So just say do it all.
Yeah,
I'm going to say...
I said do something like 3 weeks in a row.
I am going to say explore the new achievement, make up for the achievements from like Draenor and stuff like that, because they now have like a new home in the achievement menu. Pick a tree of achievements that you haven't worked on prior, like naval missions or, another expansion's worth, like exploring the Timeless Isle, something like that, and do those.
Vote for Candy.
And also vote for me.
Harisha!
Just yelling your name out doesn't mean vote for you.
If you want,
Vote for Harisha!
Lucino/Candy. That way we both get the vote. There you go. There's no rule about it.
Try, because she's not got a threat of beating me at this point, I think.
Because Ryan's a bitch.
Takes one to know one.
Bitch, I know one.
Right, and you are one.
I
All right,
am.
everybody.
Don't
let's go
deny.
ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap up. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. Say goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. See you
All
later.
right. Thanks
Have
for joining
fun.
us on the ICBG WoWCast. We'll see you guys again next week.
Vote for Candy.
Hey.
Oh my God, it's fucking power.
It's the ads
Hey.
WoWCast.
Oh my God.
Carisha.
Candy.
I'm gonna cut it for the podcast, fool.
Hey.
I'm a WoW player.